I'm Bob Spinozzi.
And I'm Geoff Hall. And once again, where in Westford is it?
We're going to talk about the Paul Revere Weathervane. Yeah. Paul Revere Weathervane. Right now it's on top of the Abbot School at 25 Depot Road.
It was placed there, from my understanding, Bob, when the Abbot School opened in 1955. You have a little background on it that you did some research on?
When the school was built, this is the Abbot School now, in 1955, as Westford Academy, Mrs. Lowell Chapin offered to give a memorial gift to honor her son, PFC Hasbrook Fletcher, who had died in an automobile accident on Route 110 2 years earlier. Mrs. Chapin found this weather vane on a barn on Tenney Road. It is thought to be the original weather vane made by Paul Revere for the first Westford Academy that was built in 1794, and it's now, of course, the Westford Museum. You're going to talk about this a little bit, but I believe we understand that Paul Revere was out here because his son went to Westford Academy.
Well, Paul Revere had quite a presence in Westford. The weather vane, it's interesting, you know, I'm not sure that was ever verified that weather vane actually, you know, it was on a barn on Tenney Road. How did they get to the barn on Tenney Road and back? So I don't know how accurate that story is, okay, with the weather vane. I do know that Paul Revere had quite a presence in Westford. If you go to present-day Westford Academy, when you walk in, it's called the Bell Lobby. And the bell that you see there was cast by Paul Revere. It was the fifth bell he had ever cast. Apparently, he was just getting into this, the bell business. That bell came cracked in 1809. They had melted it down and recast it. And they had quite a history after that, Bob. Oh, by the way, Paul Revere's son, his youngest son, John, the last of Revere's 16 children, entered Westford Academy in 1799 and studied under John Abbot. The bell had been recast, remaining in Westford Academy until the building was moved to the Boston Road location, which is the current site of the Westford Museum. At the time, the bell was silent at the site of the original Westford Academy. The bell was then placed in the formal garden of Jack Abbot and turned upside down to form a vessel like a giant flower pot which blossomed for many seasons. After Mr. Abbott's death in 1934, his only remaining son, Robert, removed the bell to his home in Littleton. And it remained there until resident Alistair McDougall. Alistair was very, very active with the Westford Museum and Westford's history. Noticed it and purchased the historic bell in 1940. He kept it in his barn until the third Westford Academy opened, now the Abbot School, in 1955, at which time the bell was then returned to Westford Academy as a gift from Mr. McDougall. Quite a history.
Right.
Quite a history.
Is it at the present school right now?
It's now in the lobby at the present Westford Academy on Patton Road.
Okay, so it's just on display.
Yeah. It's just on display.
Okay.
But as I said, you know, Revere's presence, and his son went here. He probably visited the town, stayed overnight. I don't know where. Yeah.
Okay. I want to mention a couple things about Paul Revere. He was born in the North End in 1734 and remained there until his death in 1818. During his life, he was a silversmith, an engraver, an industrialist, apparently made bells. He was also an amateur dentist. He used those talents to make dentures from walrus ivory and animal teeth. Yeah, which he wired into patients' mouths. By the way, you can visit his house at 17 North Square in Boston's North End neighborhood. And that just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, thinking about those teeth that he made.
You can use your teeth if you visit the Paul Revere house, because right around the corner is Mike's Pastries.
Correct. Then you'll need a dentist with all that sugar.
Bob, interesting, as I said, Paul Revere, when you make the connection there, it's really quite something. Another interesting part of Westford's history.
That I certainly didn't know about until we started researching.
And it's funny because those who walk into the lobby are there, you know, when you find out that it acted as a flower pot and things like that. Yeah, quite a history behind it. So
that's it. Paul Revere. Thanks for watching.